Okay. Well, if you want to bring up any Diddy news, I don't know what's going on in Diddy.com, but we could talk about that as well.
I forgot about that.
Uh, we can remind the people. Streets forgetting about Sean Puff Daddy Combs, and if needed,
I think the streets would just like to forget about him at this point.
really.
Yeah, I think we're I've seen people, ending partnerships, some platforms not playing his music or something like that. Not like streaming services, but like certain companies or things like that not playing his music. So yeah, I mean
He's
he's
no
out of
longer
here.
doing the theme song for Bluey. They take him off
No,
that.
he's yeah, they took him off.
Damn.
You'll no
Oh,
longer hear the
oh,
sounds of Love Combs on there.
oh, I forgot he did that. I was listening to the first verse of Special Delivery, the remix, and one of my favorite songs. They're very good. And it occurred to me, I was like, oh man, what if they remove this? I was like, damn, there's a lot on here they could remove off of here. So while we do want justice and such, we also want to hear Ghostface verses. So that's a balance that we're gonna have to kind of recognize and see what moves they go with in the future.
Yeah, you can't go back and cancel all of his music. Not all of it. Like, what do you cancel? Ready to Die? Like Biggie wasn't even there. Cassie wasn't even born back then. Like, you know what I mean? Like when that record was made.
Damn, that may be true. We were born for that, right? I don't know how old Cassie is, but that came out like what, 94?
90, yeah, 94, 95.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I was six. I don't know how old she is, but I'm just saying that you can't take all of his catalog down. It's different. He's not an artist. Like R. Kelly's an artist. Like Diddy is.
It's
He's
that's a
behind the
quote
scenes.
right there. R. Kelly's an artist. That's a clip right there, Pat.
I mean, he is. We can't deny what he did in the studio. You know what I'm saying? Just that the bedroom is what we have. We can't
I'm gonna be
tolerate from him.
surprised if he did some peeing in the studio too. That may have been the main P box right there. The
Honestly, I
litter
think
box.
that's where that one video was at. Actually, I think
it's
I'm gonna think about it.
it's like I gotta knock this hook off real quick, but at the same time, I'd like to urinate on you.
Exactly. So with Diddy not be an artist, yeah, I mean, like matter of fact, all the stuff that he made when he was an artist, when he had his own albums, those probably should be canceled anyway. You know what I mean? So it's like,
It's well, he produced Shake Your Tail Feather.
but he's not the artist though. So it's like
He was on it.
Nelly,
He,
but hey, all
all
right,
the
we can
girls
cancel his
get
verse.
down on the floor, on the floor. Like I feel like that's he contributed very heavily to that song.
But he's the back. He's like, just don't play his verse. DJs just don't play his verse.
It's
Uh,
just dub it with DJ Khaled.
yeah, I don't know. DJ Khaled's in hot water too with the Palestinians. So I don't even know. Sure, it's just a lot
Damn,
going on.
it's Khaled versus Palestine.
Ain't that what? Isn't he Palestinian?
I don't know. I haven't really been checking up on Khaled like that. I didn't know he was like beefing with the. It's kind of wild
No,
for him to do that.
I don't think he's. I don't think he's beefing, but I think I don't know what his background is, but I thought that they were mad because he wasn't like speaking up for his people. Like his people were going
Uh,
through it. That'd be like something. That'd be like I don't know, like a George Floyd one's going on. If like I don't know, Jay-Z didn't say anything, you'd be like, come
I
on, man,
love
you don't
you're
have
shuffling through your head like prolific black person, Jay-Z. That's a good choice. It's,
You know what I mean? So like he would put out a tweet or something. Like Kyle would just be like jumping in the Miami waters with no shirt on, like not
he's
mentioning it at all.
yeah. He's well he did in his fairness, I've heard him on multiple times during all of this say we the best. So in a lot of ways you could see how that can maybe be taken as solidarity, but I'm not a political science expert. Property Ebonics. For those of you who listen, this is not Bad Boy Records for a podcast version. This is Property Ebonics.
In the
Here,
building.
we're outside, man. Alan, I haven't seen you in a minute, man. I think I saw you last. I saw you at Phantom. I think 2 weeks ago. So that's actually not too long ago. But we haven't chopped it up on the mics in a bit.
I've been I've been living in the shadows.
Shadow Realman. Why are you living in the
Yeah.
shadows? You little vampire.
I like
All right.
it. So what I mean is I'm in a space right now where I've been doing a lot of just showing up to shows, just like popping in, getting my reps up, working on material. Yeah, like I feel like I got some pretty big headlining dates coming up on the road, but in between those, I'm just like dipping in and out of shows, pop up in the random city here. You know what I mean? So I think that's why we haven't talked like that.
I see. That sounds almost opposite of Shadow. That sounds very much like you're out and about.
No, not for me. So like for me, it's different. Like I'm not really like I haven't been like super active on social media. Like I haven't even posted like stories like that. Like normally I like post the audience. Like I just come in, do my set, and slide. Like I don't really. I don't know. I'm just in like it feels shadowy. That's just how it feels.
You're just creeping through the background of the comedy scenes and such. That's
Yeah, that's where I have been at recently.
nice, man. I was doing some creeping around on Thursday. Uh, I was looking out for shows and just like even mics, just whatever. Not even necessarily to do it, although that was kind of the goal. But like, so like, let me just hit up some spot. And I was like, well, it looks like Philadelphia is the closest one, which not the worst thing, but it's like it's a bit of a hike sometimes. Out of nowhere, maybe like 5 minutes before I'm getting ready to like head out to the city, I see there's a show going on at a Clayworks shop, literally 4 minutes away from where I live, and it's
Clay
like
works like they make bowls.
they make bowls, they make mugs. Happy Father's Day, yeah, they make all that stuff, and it's like in a junkyard though. It's like in a kind of industrial place that also does. It was hard to find. Like it's 4 minutes away, but it took me 20 minutes to find it, and yeah, it was a bunch of just local comics from the area and all that stuff. Like it was packed out, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is happening right next to where I live, and I didn't know about it. Um,
Is this a regular thing?
this is their first one. Yeah, so that's another reason why I haven't really like heard too much. I saw a poster for it a while back, but didn't register. Like, oh, it's in Downingtown. It was cool, man. It was cool. It was very much like kind of like a barn like setting, and your boy loves barns. So I showed up. They put me on, got funky out there, and yeah, it's nice doing it when something's like local to you.
This sounds very obscure. Clay works in a junkyard. Is this the most obscure show you've ever done?
Damn, that's a good question. I want to say no. No.
No.
I feel
You've done
like I've done attics and Kutztown. I've done
clay shops and junkyards sounds crazy.
yeah. It had very much like a Sanford and Son feel to it. Especially when I couldn't find anywhere to park. It was just the theme song just playing in my head. I felt like a damn fool. But it was good. I wouldn't say it was most obscure, but the lineup was it was one of those ones where it's kind of I was a bit hesitant at first in terms of like, oh, like there's like 11 comics on this sort of thing, but actually it ended up being kind of just a low-key thing and nice hangout and all that stuff. So yeah, shout out to them. Kirk Gardner, which is wild, there's another Kirk, but Kirk Gardner, comic and area, put it together. So shout out to him.
Sorry, look, I'm smelling. This is it. This is our Club Shay Shay moment right here. Okay,
Oh,
because there's another Kirk G
I know. Trust me.
that did a show four
I
minutes
thought,
from you,
bro, I thought about the G. I did think about the G.
and you didn't even know it. This seems like this was held from you on purpose.
Yo, Kirk G, I rescind that shout out. No, I'm joking. It's fine. I've never referred to anyone else as Kirk. It's crazy. It's so like at the show, people were like calling out Kirk, and I was like, they weren't. And then I was like, yo, if they call me Kirk number two, it's going to be an issue. They didn't call me Kirk number two. But yeah, not a lot of Kirks out here. He spells his name with an E,
K-E?
like Kirk E, like it ends with an E.
Kirky.
Kirky.
Uh,
I'm gonna be a dickhead and just mispronounce his name next time I see him. What up, Kirky? Has a flow to it.
that's his name now. I want to meet Kirky now because it's funny because I was driving the other day and I literally was thinking about because I seen on Facebook there was a girl named Brittany on Facebook and a girl named Brittany commented on her status and they were like talking to each other, but they kept saying Brittany. They were like, "Thank you, Brittany." He's like, "You're welcome, Brittany." So,
It's,
so this is your Brittany moment. But thank you, Kirky.
it's, I'm so glad to be in my Britney era. I feel like he runs this issue somewhat. There's like Allens all over the place.
There is, and the number one question after we establish that our names are Alan, the first question is, how do you spell it? Like
Yeah.
you do the lame way, like Iverson, Allen, or the cool way, like Allen, Alan.
I love how that's default. The four letter one is the cool way. You would think like Iverson would lock down like the double L's being like the solidified cool way, but not for the Allens.
Nah, man. See, because I came up with this, so I made it the cool way. I'm the one.
Yeah, man. Speaking of that, I want to touch on this. Something was peeved me off the other day. I went bowling with my friend Ray. Here, shout out to Ray real quick. Went bowling with we took our dips and all that stuff, and then Ray. Oh no, they were looking at photos of me, and then from Amsterdam, and like Ray's girl was like, "Oh wow, Kirk, you're doing Ray's pose. That's my pose. I was doing a pose I've been locking down for years now." I was saying like you're doing Ray's pose. I wanted to give a quick acknowledgement. I was born a month before Ray. So that's 30 days full of me doing the pose first. I had to hold it down for my pose real quick.
Well, all right. What's the pose?
Oh,
All right. So you're standing up, and you hold your one wrist, cross them
yeah,
together.
that's the move right there. You
Okay. Okay.
stand
I
up,
see.
sir? You
Okay.
stand, you have a nice background in front of you. You can be anywhere. You hold it down with that, solidified,
So for
secure,
the so for
confident,
the
smells
list
good.
the listeners, if you haven't, if you can't, if you're not viewing this, you're listening to this on
You know,
audio.
they can feel that.
If you ever seen the legendary Crip Tukey Williams in jail,
Hmm.
he's always holding his one wrist and pumping out his chest because it makes him look buff.
Whoa.
That's what Kirk just did. So Kirk, you are doing the Tukey Williams actually.
Damn, I thought I was doing like a kangaroo situation, but yeah, that's fine too. I add my own little nuance to it and all that stuff. So it's definitely the Kirk move. Perhaps I'm doing a Kegel while doing it. Who knows? But it's a Kirk move right there.
Yeah, so I think that your man been stealing your pose, bro.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. It's yeah, completely with that. Producer Pat acknowledges that he's also been doing the pose. Pat, you're welcome. But that's
You a trendsetter, bro.
yeah, I try in different ways. I try in different ways out there, man. I was gonna give you a heads up on some trends that I was setting and all that stuff, man. Since the last we spoke, your boy went on a few adventures.
Uh-oh.
I
You going rock
know.
climbing again?
No, that would be crazy, man. I got to work on my wrist for that one. No, the last time we spoke, it was a matter of I was about to go on a work trip and I was gonna go do a show, and I had this whole thing with like, oh, do I tell my coworkers all that stuff? And I went out there, man. I want to give people a heads up of what it was like in Austin, Texas. Chris Pratt, if you could play the Austin, Texas music.
Are there rappers from Austin?
Man,
Like
there's a
famous?
bunch. There's
Like
a
famous?
Houston. I can't think of
Yeah.
Austin though.
I'm
Yeah.
saying Austin.
Oh wait, wait, you said I heard
That
you say Austin. Houston. Houston, Texas has like a bunch of rappers.
I was wondering if there was any rappers from Austin
Oh, I'm sure, yeah. It's like a whole like music mecca over there.
that we've heard of though. Like, are there anybody like? Because like there's some places you'd be like, oh, somebody like Prince. It's Milwaukee, I think.
I know,
Right.
yeah.
So it's like just random places will have like a person from. So
Yeah, a rapper from Austin, Slim Thug, maybe? No, I'm sure he's definitely Houston.
Prince is Minneapolis had to fix that. Rooster Pass. Yeah, right.
Oh, okay, looking at that.
I said Milwaukee. My bad.
Yeah, you're gonna have Prince fans attack us. Yeah, so man, work stuff aside, which was cool and all that stuff. First thing I want to say, get off the plane. It's hot. It's crazy hot. Like
Texas.
so that's the thing, man. I thought it was like maybe like kind of like a stereotype. No, man, it was like beginning of May, very hot. Like I was breathing in hot air. I was very much like I brought my nose lube with me because I was like, yo, this kind of different humidity, you're probably gonna get a nosebleed or faint. I want to say that none of these things happened, so I was very, very lucky on that end.
Good job.
Yeah. But But yeah, man, shows out there. I want to give a nice little shout out to Lemaire Lee, Nate Marshall, Sean Gardini, man. They put your boy up, and it was a very nice setting, man. It was went out there. They're doing the show. It's relatively new, I guess. 150 people. It was like, oh my God, people were all out there. And yeah, man, rocked out, hung out with other comics. They all rocked out. Everyone was showing mad love and all that stuff. It's crazy to see like Lemaire and Nate and Sean, they get crazy love out there. Crazy love out there. So it was wild to like see that. And yeah, it was just overall just like a really cool experience. Do you think you'd ever, because there's a lot going on in Texas right now, do you think you'd ever like explore out there?
Explore, what do you mean? Like
Like
Lewis
what?
and Clark going on an adventure?
A little bit. Like say like whether it's like book shows there, maybe not necessarily like move there, but like go there, explore around, see what's happening there. And then maybe, who knows, maybe even move there sort of thing because a lot of people are doing that.
Yeah, I won't move there, but
Hmm.
it's not Texas, is not for me. But I definitely want to go. Like
Yeah.
my mom living in Dallas. You know what I mean? So it's like,
I don't know
yeah,
that. I don't know
yeah.
why I keep thinking your mom lives in Atlanta.
She moved from Georgia last year.
Okay.
So it's like, you know what I mean? You got Dallas, you know what I'm saying? Austin right there. I'm already thinking about a little tour, a little run, you know what I'm saying? A little Texas run. You know? It's already,
Yeah.
so it's like, yeah, I definitely want to see what's up with Austin for sure. You know what I mean? Go out there, see what's going on. I don't know. But yeah, it's been a budding scene. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's popping.
Yeah, most definitely was, man. Most definitely is. So, shout out to Austin. I feel like growing up, I always had this idea of Texas being like ran with like Bulls, Cowboys, which it does have some Cowboys. I didn't see any Bulls in Austin. I don't know, maybe like in Galveston or something like that. But no, they were very kind. So, shout out to them.
Shout out to the Bulls. I mean, it's Bulls everywhere.
It's, I mean, like Bulls. Like, there's so many
Bull,
meaningful
Bulls.
bulls. That's there's some not safe for work searches for bulls.
So how'd that go? Did the coworkers know about and come to the shows?
Yeah, so I told my manager because we flew in together, and I think we were just like tired with stuff, and she was like, "Oh, well, yeah, I guess you could like mention it," sort of thing like that. And then yeah, it was just like a lot of just meeting new people and stuff like that. And then ultimately we were at like a shuffleboard thing, and I didn't really tell them until like an hour before I left. It was pretty much like I had to leave, and I was like, I told the manager like, "Hey, I'm gonna dip out. My friends are holding a show." And then she was like, "Oh yeah, go see your friends and all that stuff." And she was like, "Oh, but definitely go tell the other people because they may want to go see a comedy show." I told them, so I go over to them. I'm like, "Hey guys, I'm dipping out. My friends are holding a comedy show." And the one person that like knows I do comedy like was like, "And you're gonna be on it?" And I was like, yeah, probably." And then they're like, then it's like, then the other people learn about it. Um, I think it was too short notice.
Oh, you did. That's why you did it on short note. You did like
I
that on
know.
purpose.
They called me out for that the next day. It's like, oh yeah, you told us about it 20 minutes before going up. If you told us about this last week, we would have made the event your show. Uh,
Oh,
but
oh, that's so good.
yeah, it was a wild move. It was a wild move. So,
Not them going. Are you going to be on the show? And you got a picture of you on the flyer going, probably.
it's, I know I didn't even like flat out just say yes. I was like, yeah, probably. We'll see what happens. Just hanging out with the friends. It's,
It'll be my first time. Who knows?
it's
Uh,
yeah. No,
that's
it
so
was
good.
it was cool in that way. Part of me was like, oh, this totally would have been fine if they came. I mean, I kind of knew that going into it. But I was at the same time, I didn't want to impose on the plans. And also it's like because we're spending a considerable amount of time together, I kind of wanted to have some time where I get to like focus in on seeing friends I haven't seen in a while. So there's that part too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Whatever.
Oh my goodness.
You know who you talking to? I don't want to hear that. You told the manager Uber was pulling up. Hey guys, gotta go.
That's exactly what
He tried to justify. I just want to spend time with Lemaire and Nate. No, I don't want to hear that.
Man, I did. Well, that's the thing. Like, what if they came, then after the show, it's like you have to continue hanging out. It's like, oh, well, like the coworkers maybe wants to mingle, which is totally fine. They're welcome. But it was nice being able, like, oh, outside of work,
Yeah,
just me and the
yeah,
pals and all that stuff. Shout out to
yeah.
Texas also in the sense of like I did a lot of free roaming like that night and then afterward, like the next night. And apparently there was a serial killer around in Austin. First Pat, if you can look this up, I think they're called the something River Killer. Um, and don't get it confused with one of the rappers they have out there, but there was some sort of serial killer, and 10 bodies were found in a particular lake in Austin, and
So
apparently they were out there. So
the the night that you were walking around, there was a happened to be a random serial killing happening, huh?
hey, come on, man. Hey, I see you're angling out. Chill out with that.
Where were you at?
Oh, come on, man. I have no alibi. I was by myself. It was just
You were about to tell me how safe it was. You know, I was just roaming around, how safe it was.
it's,
We're 10 bodies in a lake. Like,
oh
what?
my goodness. Yeah, oh, that's what it was. Yeah, so Lady Bird Lake stretches for 6 miles throughout Texas capital. 10 bodies have been found in the Austin Lake in the past 20 months. Why are people dying in Lady Bird Lake? I don't know how close I was to Lady Bird Lake, but there were some wild characters out there. There was like people just running up to me like, "Hey, can I shake your hand?" And someone hit me with like, "Yo, you look like a black king." That was cool. But their approach was very aggressive. So it was one of the few times where I've traveled and kind of roamed around where I felt a little when it was just me. I was like, "Oh, all right, I should maybe be mindful of where I am," sort of thing like that.
That wasn't Southern hospitality. That was Southern hostility. That's what
Oh
that
yeah,
was.
yeah. Oh my goodness, come on, man.
Running up on you, making you feel unsafe.
Yeah,
Well, that's one of my fears about Texas too. Texas is one of those states, like it's one of those states. Like you open carry, cowboys, racist, oil. I don't know. It just gives off somewhere I shouldn't be. I mean,
oil barrels. It's
I'm not going anywhere by myself. Or if there's hay barrels rolling down the street,
it's
somewhere I should be.
Yeah, I ended the night at this gay bar. It was like a LGBT friendly bar that was like across from the hotel. And oh yeah, shout out to Cypress Hill. They were performing right across the street. I was
It's
like,
crazy.
yeah, that's neat. Went to this place, I think it's called Charlie Good Boys or something like that. I've been seeing it throughout the whole time being there. It was very colorful from the hotel. Then I ended up going there. Everyone was very friendly. So uh
That's probably the most friendliest place in Austin.
I mean, it was up there. So yeah, I want to give a shout out to them, man. They were cool. I feel like you mentioned you may have some like a little bit of travels going on soon. There's potential for you may be going roaming all over the place.
Oh yeah, man. You know me. Like I'm on my We Got Action tour. You know what I'm
Cool.
saying? Wednesday, what's this? Tuesday. This will be out. I don't even know. The 6th, the 7th, I'll be in Linden, New Jersey. Then I got to go down to Baltimore on the
Oh,
11th,
well,
and then on June,
damn, long term thinking.
June, the 22nd, 23rd, I got to go down to Asheville, North Carolina,
Ooh,
for Model Face Comedy. I'll be headlining their shows down there. Yeah, man. So June gonna be a fun month. So that's what I've
yeah,
been. That's why I've been like dipping in the shows and just popping up the mics and just because what I'm trying to do is like I'm doing a whole new set. You know what I mean?
mm,
So I'm still like trying to like flesh out and like punch up these jokes that I have to do on this tour because
yeah.
like I don't want to be selling my album on this tour and doing an album of jokes on the tour. So it's like this is a whole new set. So I'm just that's why I like to just kind of just pop in, pop out. If things don't go well, nobody know who I am.
That's
You know what I
the move
mean?
right there.
So
Yeah.
that's doing. Yeah.
Something I want to talk to you about. It's comedy related in terms of like you book all these shows and all that stuff, man. I've had my fair share of booking a few different things. I'm curious, like some to say like you set a show and you know it's gonna be like you look at the lineup, you're like, wow, I'm excited for this sort of thing like that. And it's like you want to capstone it, you want to put something like crazy at the end of it. Uh, what is your experience like with booking, whether it be national headliners or just well recognized headliners that they're busy. But like when you like reach out to them, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, all right, there may be a shot that they can't do it because like they do a lot, sort of thing
Yeah.
like that. What is your experience like with that? Maybe securing the headliner, and also the outreach. Like, what have you had experiences with this?
I don't have any experience with it.
Really?
I don't have any. So I've been fortunate enough to be friends with people that are headliners. So it's like I don't have to do like that formal like hey, I'm a comedian out of this place and I'm trying to book. It'll be me like, yo, bro, I run a show here. Yeah, I mean, if you ever free, I'll be free. Hit me up. So it'd be like kind of more of that casual. Like I haven't really had the formal like try to like propose a amount of money and a sign a contract. I haven't really done that. You know what I'm saying? It's like shoot, like most of the time, I don't even lie. Like when I need a headliner, I just headline. So it's
Yeah.
like, so it's like I don't have like that much. Producer Pat, I know Producer Pat when they was doing their joint at the Chameleon, they was booking people. You know what I mean? I think Producer Pat got a lot more knowledge on that than I do because I don't know. I'm cheap, bro. So it's like
Mm.
I know they're gonna want a bag. So it's like, man, I
Yeah.
can I can keep that bag. You know what I mean? Let me do
That,
this
that was
by
well,
myself.
that's my follow up for it because a lot of times, like, say you're booking stuff and like you have like people that you know can headline like nearby and all that stuff, but like if you're getting someone that's like maybe more recognized in different places or lives in a different state, just a lot of times it's a matter of like justifying the pay. Like, oh, if you're traveling out here, you may have to pay more than the venue or the budget has, sort of thing like that. So yeah, no, I was curious like what that was like. For yeah, I've had like one experience with it, and it's smooth. It's been smooth, sort of thing like that. So it wasn't like bad, but it was my first time. Like even while before asking, like, and I know the person too. I wouldn't necessarily say like we're like friends or anything like that, but like we know of each other. And it was very much like I was like, oh, I'm not sure like if I should like introduce more money before even asking, sort of thing like that. Because it's like I just anticipated the amount that I was going to propose maybe not being enough, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, you don't want to disrespect people too. You know what I mean? You want to
Yeah.
be like, hey, yeah, that too. I get nervous about. Oh, I don't know. I mean, sometimes you could just straight up ask people like, yo, this is the date, this is the show, this is all the details. What would you need for this? Like, yeah, I mean, because sometimes the first person to show their hand, sometimes is the one to lose. So it's like if you
Mm.
tell, so you may be offering them more than they would even need. So it's kind of like you only sometimes you want to ask them like, yo, what would it cost to get you to do this, and then go
Yeah,
from there.
no, that's a good approach too. Bruce Pat, he throws a suggestion out there like, so say if a headliner is near your town, try to book a Thursday or Sunday nearby that they can do for a little less than usual. I feel like with a comedy mind, a lot of times people are going to do that. Like, oh, I'm near the town anyway. If I get extra cash from doing this extra show, extra stage time, that's a very good suggestion, Pat. Hell yeah.
Told you, producer Pat was the one to talk to.
Yeah. That's
he know like that makes perfect sense. Like if I'm gonna be here, if I'm at Helium on Friday and Saturday, why would I not go out to down in town on Thursday? Like why not? You know what I mean?
the best shows at Eddie's Barbershop on Brandywine Avenue. That's I'm just giving a shout out to Eddie. His barbershop's literally right there.
Is that you're doing a show there?
No, but but their barber Jermaine at All Star Images, which I believe you know him as well. He does a lot of shows in the area and all that stuff. So yeah, not too far off.
I know.
He knows you. Yeah, I think you did one of his shows. It's like
Yeah,
uh,
barber.
the Scottsdale Inn. The
The Bulls. I know he was a barber.
Yeah, well, there's multiple people that do it, but like Jermaine, yeah, he's like a barber.
Oh, the old head black bull.
I mean, both of them are old head black wolves, but like
Oh, okay.
the one with the really good lineup is Jermaine.
That's funny because I ain't gonna lie, most barbers don't have good lineups,
it's
which is ironic. You know what I mean?
it's like no one will do it for me, and this mirror is.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. All right. So that makes sense. Yeah. So yeah. So for when you want to book your show at the barbershop, Thursday, Sunday, there you go.
Yeah, maybe get through there, man. Someone that we won't be able to book in the near future, and maybe perhaps we'll be seeing once things take place a little bit more, is Donald Trump. Donald Trump has been there's I don't know if convicted is the right term or not, but officially charged with a guilty verdict over the hush money trial with Stormy Daniels, and I guess case of fraud. I don't know the full dimensions of it. I know like details, but I don't know exactly like the full labels. And I did research before this too. But did you hear about this?
Yeah, I have. Yes.
Yeah, man. So it's what 34 counts of different forms of fraud and shenanigans. We'll just call it that way. It's easier. So he's been charged with a handful of shenanigans,
These not shenanigans, bro. These are convictions.
convictions. Yeah, so that as well.
Bro
Yeah.
he has been charged, tried,
Well,
and convicted.
really,
That's
yeah,
crazy. It's
yeah.
crazy.
I think people were not anticipating that. I think people were thinking like, oh, he'll not get charged for it, or find some way around of it. But yeah, the opposite. They took, I think, 2 days of deliberation, and yeah, so I guess a lot. Because what I was wondering is like, oh, people when they get charged, a lot of times you hear what the sentencing is going to be or what we can anticipate. His sentencing is not until July 11th, and people aren't too sure what that's going to look like. He could face prison hypothetically. He could face community service hypothetically. Uh, and then there's also the idea of like if they, for whatever reason, he's not charged with X, Y, and Z, then they're going to move over to a different case, being the January 6th attacks on the uh, but yeah, that's slipping my mind on that one there. So yeah, they got another one locked and loaded and all that stuff. Do you feel any sort of emotional, whether it be strong, good, or bad feelings towards once you heard this verdict?
I laughed. I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny. Like, so okay, so yeah, he went through the trial and he was convicted and charged. He was not even charged. Charged is the first part. Convicted is the last part. So for a president, a former president, to be convicted of anything is insane.
Yeah.
What he was convicted of is even funnier. Bro got convicted of covering up money he was using to pay for a prostitute. That's crazy. A,
Mm.
a former
She
a
is a poor, like a porn worker person that like she, I
sex
guess technically
worker,
she's not a prostitute, but like she does like adult films. Shout out to
sex
Veronica.
sex worker, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Ever. I hope I can still become president after saying that. But like it's just crazy. It was so funny to me because it's like nothing's going to happen, right? Nothing's going to happen. He's not going to jail. Okay,
I don't think so.
he's not going to jail. He can get the max is 4 years in jail. He's not getting he's any judge that will send Donald Trump to jail for 4 years. I fear for their life. Like
Yeah.
like all jokes aside, like
Even the jury, bro. I was thinking about that. I was like, damn, like that's because he still has like Secret Service and all that, and people they he has fans. The fans, if they find out the jury, they're not gonna be not so happy. I'm not saying necessarily anything's gonna happen, but like there, I feel like there will be attempts.
bro, like 48% of the country likes him. so so
Yeah.
like people that feel strongly about him, he's not going to jail. But it's just crazy because like he's still going to run for president.
Well,
Like
that's the thing. I don't think it's really like say if he gets charged, not put in prison. I think I don't want to say it straightens his campaign, but like people that like rock with him are gonna rock with him heavy now. Like it just kind of like amplifies that whole like martyr kind of persona that a lot of people kind of dawn on him sort of thing. So we'll see, man. I think there's one aspect of it where if he is or since he has been charged, I guess technically he's not able to vote. So like if he runs, he wouldn't be able to vote for himself. He
he
may
got
just get a
convicted.
ghost voter.
He convicted of 34 felonies, bro. There's so many things you can't do once you become a felon. You
He
can't.
may he's gonna have a hard time working at Rite Aid. Like he's gonna do a lot of different things.
He can't even drive Uber,
Damn.
bro. He can't even come to your address.
Damn.
But they gonna still let him address the country? Oh, come on, man.
Oh my
This is
goodness. Oh my goodness. Poetry emotion over here.
crazy.
It's just, it's,
Come on, man. Like it's just wild, man. That's why I laugh. I laugh because it did happen, but nothing is going to change. I will say this though, I do think he will lose support because of it. I don't
really.
think I don't think anybody's like, oh snap, he got felonies now. Like
I think there's a
I
few
don't
people that are gonna be like, oh
no
snap, he has felonies now.
no yo, I don't want to hear that. Like
You will
anybody,
rebrand it so that felonies are like a cool thing. It's
yo, bro, he got 34. He looking at 34. He looking at 4 years. Yo, I faced 4 years one time. Like, no, I
He's
he
gonna
gonna
really.
lose.
He was in the Bronx the other day. He like went to the Bronx. I don't know if he was in Orchard Beach or whatever like that, but like he showed up and like people showed. I think a lot of people from Florida pulled up too, so it wasn't just all Bronx people, but like people showed up to it and all that stuff, man. Who knows? He may like kind of like get it around where like felony is not so bad. Also, I want to announce my VP, Puff Daddy. Puff Daddy's gonna be my VP. Take that,
that'd
America.
be
Take that.
that'd be that'd be a crazy cabinet, bro.
It's
R. Kelly, the treasurer.
it's oh my goodness, yeah.
Yeah,
Secretary of State, yeah.
Secretary of State is Weinstein.
Oh,
Um,
I don't even know what
what
he's up to, yeah.
one thing that all right, look, it's a positive. It's a positive that I was thinking about coming out of this in the long run.
Hmm.
If bro's still allowed to run for president, maybe they will kind of let felons get jobs now. You know what I mean? Because like,
Yeah.
bro, my man got 4 kids. He got felonies, but he can't drive Uber. So it's like he got to work
Damn. Yeah.
where you know what I mean. So it's like things you can't do. You can't. There's so many things you can't do if you have felonies. So if they let this guy run for president with felonies, maybe there are people that can turn their life around. I don't know.
That's actually a solid ass point, man. No, I agree. I feel like that's gonna kind of if that does happen, which not to say that's like the best case scenario, or whatever, but I think that is a silver lining. If it kind of like lifts a bit of a stigma off people that have felonies, and then kind of like I know there's like programs out right now and all that stuff to like kind of help people like get jobs and all that, but a lot of times those type of jobs, it's kind of hard to have like a living situation off them and really depend on them financially. So yeah, if it's kind of able to revise, I'm I don't know how do you feel about the idea of felons after the crime having some restrictions and what they could tap into society? Do you feel like it should be a matter of the type of felony they have, like if it's a non-violent offense, or do you think that there's a there should be some what's the best word to describe it? Lack of better words, forgiveness after paying your debt.
I think once you pay your debt, you should go back to being a normal citizen. Like I feel like you paid your debt. So what? So in Pennsylvania, right? What they do is you don't get. So you get say you get 5 to 10 years in jail. You don't most of the time you don't do 10 years in jail unless you were in jail being a riot, right? So what they'll so what they'll do is so,
You're just having a gay old time in jail, really
no, I
living
mean
it up.
people go to jail and commit more crimes and like get charged for other things in jail, right? So what I mean is like, say you commit a crime, you pay your debt to society, you serve your time, you serve your 5 years in jail. Then what happens is you get out of jail and you have parole or probation, where you have to be a upstanding citizen for another 5 years. So that 5 to 10, that 10 is five spent in and five spent out, right?
Oh,
So what happens is you got people that are on parole and probation for years. If they have any police contact, they'll go back to jail. But there are people that have had no police contact and get off probation
yeah,
and still are treated like they're felons that just came out. That part's not fair. Like once you walk off your time and pay your debt to society, you should be back allowed to be back to society. So it'd be like, well, people that have violent crimes, what about them? Okay, if you got a violent crime and you spend 30 years in jail, bro, I'm gonna have to let you go live your life after that. Like you paid your debt to society. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's like I don't
Yeah.
know, man. I don't know.
No, I agree in a lot of ways. I think a lot of times people their answer depends on whatever crime resonates with them the worse. It's like some people they hear violent crimes and where they had a history of being attacked, whatever. They're like we either indifferent or just like it doesn't. It's okay. They don't have to get the best jobs, whatever. And there's some people that hear something terrible like pedophilia, and it's like, yeah, never let them work at this place. Like I never want to interact with them. And yeah, but for the most part, I would say same thing. Like if you served X, Y, and Z amount of time and you've shown for the last like X, Y, and Z amount of years that like you're chilling, sort of thing like that, Yeah, part of me is like, okay, then what? There's a word for it, and it starts with an R. I can't think of what it. Rehabilitation, perhaps. I don't know if that's the right term or not. I don't think it is, but yeah, part of me is like, yeah, let that slide. Then again, part of me wonders also, like, all right, it feels like some sort of felon that impacted my life or someone in my like someone in my circle's life, sort of like that. Would I have a bit more vendetta? But then I recognize that's more on me and the act of forgiveness that I'd have to work on.
Mm. Only thing you said, you mentioned pedophiles, right?
That's what you caught out of that whole thing? All right.
No, that part. No, I'd like to go down the line, which what you said, but I'm gonna get there. But I feel like because you said that, it made me think though, like
Yeah.
if a pedophile serves their time in jail and does all they're supposed to do, I still don't want them driving my kids in Uber. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
still don't want. So it's kind of like I say one thing, like they serve their time, but it's kind of like I don't know. It's hard, yo. Like
Yeah, because that crime in particular resonates a little bit more with you.
exactly. So
Um,
I don't know, man. It's tough. What was the last thing you said? So you won't think I was just trying to get back to that point.
the idea of like if a felon had some sort of a if they had some sort of like a impact on your personal life or someone around you sort of thing, uh is there a little more of a vendetta of like, oh well, they don't get to see the daylight because they did something to my aunt. Yo, shouts
Yeah,
to my aunt.
yeah. I think like I said, I think that is probably just after they serve their time. I think it's just some kind of forgiveness within yourself because you're just holding on to that in you at this point. So it's like, man, I served my 25 years. You still on that, man? Like, come on. That wasn't even your first aunt. Like,
oh, oh, oh my goodness. Perhaps
uh,
third aunt-in-law.
I mean, like, come on, man. That was your third cousin, bro. Come on, man.
That was your
Come on.
aunt-in-law. That was
I can't work it right here because you don't even like your mom-in-law. Like, I did you a favor.
yeah, before I forget this point, we could get back to felonies Trump if we want to in a bit, but I want to give you a quick update. Remember that thing I was doing that like where I had to write something personal each day for the month of May, where it was
Yeah,
like either write about a family member. Completed as of yesterday. Shout out to June. We're in June. But yeah, man, I took your approach. I took you and Barry's approach, going on stage and trying them without doing like specifically like having jokes in mind. I did have some jokes in mind, but like just
right,
bringing the
right, right.
story up there. Yeah, and it was cool. It went
Yeah,
well. I still didn't fully resonate with it like how I do with like material that I like rock with, but it's an exercise and perhaps I'll get more out of it. But thank you for that note because it was helpful.
welcome. Did you find yourself after telling the stories on stage, like maybe going home or on the ride home, like coming up with things that were like, oh, I could say this, or I could probably try that, or was it just like, all right, that's done?
No, it was more of like placing emphasis on the things that worked. So I didn't
Mm,
necessarily like think of like, oh, well, this is what happened. I did talk to my mom about one of the stories and she gave me more insight, which was
mm,
cool. But it was more so like recognize like, okay, that hit, that hit, that hit. Um, which is cool. There's some stuff that I've written in there where it's like, oh, that was like a helpful thing. I just don't know if I can't necessarily get excited about it yet, but I'm gonna try it out some more because I have 31 examples of them. So yeah, even that in itself was a cool practice.
no, that's dope, man. That's I mean, that's how I write though. Yeah, man, go up there. And also what it does, it makes you talk to your mom more. Hey mom, I'm gonna ask you some questions. I mean,
Yeah. I
I
hit
mean,
her up with like I had to ask her about Beefcake. Had to ask her about my grandmother's boyfriend named Beefcake. So I got a little more of a heads up. Turns out Beefcake got kicked out of the house because he started hitting on my mom. Beefcake was wilding.
yo, this is perfect.
Yeah, man. It's like with a name like Beefcake though. Come
You
on.
had to see it coming.
Yeah, it's
Ain't that what they call Ron Jeremy?
Ron Jeremy Beefcake. Do
I
they?
think so.
That's
I don't know.
kind of message forms are you on, dog? Like that may be the case.
I don't
Uh,
know. That sounds like that would be a nickname. I don't know.
it's I'm gonna start calling myself that Beefcake Junior. With that, you want to get some prop suggestions?
Yeah, we can do that.
Oh my goodness, prop suggestions, prop suggestions.
Yo, proper suggestion. Gotta check it out. Netflix. Tires. Shane Gillis and crew.
And
Or
gang.
gang on there. If you ever been to a comedy show in Philadelphia, if you've seen people from on that show, you know what I'm
Oh
saying?
my gosh,
Check
yeah.
it out. They got everybody on there. It's hilarious. My guy on there, Anthony Moore is on there.
Yeah, man. That
Um,
was so cool to see, man. It's and funny enough, that was gonna be one of my suggestions. So
knew
luckily
it.
I came loaded with two, so we're good. But oh my gosh, genuinely very funny show. I didn't expect any less or anything like that, but like it was cool to see, and like even like when you mentioned like local comics, it's like, oh my goodness, what? That's like right there. Chip Chantry. What? That's crazy. Like
Oh, you know
Anthony
what's
Moore, man.
crazy?
Yeah.
Charles Bliznick had the whole. He was on the whole. Bro, I just
You had the
watched
whole
Charles. I just watched him get kicked off of a stage, physically kicked off the stage at Next in Line, and then
ah.
the next week he's on Netflix. It's like, oh, this bro is crazy.
Wait, was he doing like a bit or was it part of their
It was a part of the Do Rag and Dare Tag
oh.
live podcast,
Oh, okay.
and somehow, some way, Drew kicked him off the stage. It was crazy.
Oh my goodness, man. Yeah, man. Shouts that whole crew, man. Like it's so cool to see, and like I guess they do it not too far from here and all that. Genuinely funny show. I've been recommended to like everyone I've been seeing around here, all that, man. And it's yeah, very happy for them on that one. It's cool to see.
Yeah,
It's
man.
I won't get it like all like but while watching the credits, there was a part where it was like almost like hair raising a little bit. It's like holy shit, like
Yeah,
that's
goosebumps.
yeah. It's like damn, that's wild as hell, dog. Like that's cool.
Yeah, man. It was dope to see, yo. I literally was just smiling. Like,
Yeah,
look at these guys, dog. Like everybody. You had Ryan Shaner was on there.
Shaner was
Like
in the mix.
Shaner
Chris
just did
O'Connor in
my,
there.
he just did my show at Crooked Hammock. Like, so it's like, yes, this is night right there. This is
He
good.
did great on it too. In terms of like, because like we know like there was like comics and all that stuff, but like seeing them act, it's like, damn, you guys are like good at acting.
He killed it, dog. And I think you know what also too? I don't know if they knew when they were shooting it that it was going for Netflix. So
Mm,
like I think they probably just thought it was on some Gillian Keys type, maybe on some YouTube, like not knowing like
maybe.
how. But I mean, for me, that probably make it easier because if you don't know like what you doing,
Yeah,
it
like
may be
yeah,
just having
that's
fun.
yeah. I mean that's I, don't- I yeah, that could be a part of it sort of thing too because I know like they did a pilot for it back in like 2017 or whatever. And I remember like, oh, this is funny. It's just so cool like that they transitioned to that. So if you haven't watched it already, most definitely check it out. They already got approved for a second season before it even aired. So off the cuff, like they knew it was going to be something. So yeah, I'll give my hair raising prop suggestion as well. It's going to be shouts to Philly as well. On June 23rd, our boy Shane O'Connor, he's doing a live taping. Him and Sarah Bell, they're going to be doing a live taping out in the city. Two shows. I think it's like one at 7 and one like at 9. And yeah, man, Shane, one of my favorites out there. Sarah, she always rocks out. So I think they're doing like half hours each. So definitely look up their stuff and go check out those shows. I think it's gonna be a good time.
Oh yeah, man. Philly scene's popping right now.
Hmm. It's
No dope
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, man. Beyond that, man, I know right now there's we may have touched on this before. But right now, when we talk about like Philly scene and all that stuff, right now Helium's Philly's Funniest is happening, and we're seeing more comedy competitions. I believe Soul Joel's currently has a comedy competition. Uh, Emmaus Theater in Lehigh Valley, they're currently doing a comedy competition. We're seeing more and more. I know for yourself, from what I recall, you as of right now where you're at, you don't really do the competition so much.
Nah, I would like. It just depends. It gotta be the right one. I'm not. Yeah, I pick and choose which ones I want to do now. But like, yeah, like the big, like the last one that I've done, it was the American Black Film Festival. Like the one I went
Okay.
to Miami for.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was
Like, yeah, I had to go to LA. I had to fly to LA for that. Then they flew the finalists to Miami. Like, yeah, so like, but like that kind of competition I'm trying to do. Like, I want to do big ones. You
right.
know what I mean? So yeah.
I get that. Yeah, it's I'm not anti-competition comedy. I think people should be mindful of like marking their value so much off it. Like if you win, that's very cool. That's like a nice thing to have. But I've seen so many people like get like so bummed out over like being like eliminated or just not
Mhm.
the feeling like they didn't do well. And it's just like just keep in mind like it's a competition and comedy. They don't necessarily mesh I don't feel at least. But yeah, I still people that do it and the competitions are held. That's cool. I just
Uh,
don't know if it's necessarily something that I want to do like a lot of.
So this may be a hot take,
Well,
but I think comedy competitions, when they're done right and judged correctly, really are honest.
mm,
Like, I think they're really good at seeing where you are. Like, so I learned quickly that in order to win competitions, every like it sounds obvious, but you got to make everybody laugh, right? So like a lot of the competitions you go to, there'll be people bring their friends, right?
yeah,
So their friends are gonna laugh at them, their friends are gonna laugh at them. But if you could get everybody's friends to laugh at you,
yeah,
you got it, right? So I think that competitions made me better because I quickly realized like, oh, I gotta make everybody laugh. Like everybody gotta be laughing. I just can't have like a whole group of black people over here laughing, or a whole group of I don't know emo people over here. Like just you know what I mean, I can't have these pockets of laughter. I need to have jokes that make everybody laugh. So I think that when you can do that, comedy competitions are not easy, but you can win them. You can advance because you're making everybody laugh. So I think that competitions make you right for all audiences.
it can help
So
with that. I can see that in a lot of ways. Yeah, it's like a lot of times too, if you kind of look at it as like, all right, well, I'm gonna get on stage regardless. Whether this is a competition or not, I'm gonna get on stage. It's like, all right, well, kind of maybe treat it like that, where it's like, all right, well, this is like a room full of people. I want
hmm
to make them laugh. Um, yeah, no, I definitely get on that way. I am the 2015 winner of Kutztown's Got Talent, and as a former winner of a comedy competition, technically it wasn't a comedy competition. There were people like tap dancing and all that stuff, but there's like,
the other
but
comic,
what's that? I know.
you
I
beat
think I
that.
was. No, there was one other comic. There was one other comic. Shouts Kyle Neff. But like, there's but yeah, there was that aspect too of like, oh wow, like you're really getting like the whole people, everyone around laughing, sort of thing like that. And I guess for me, I didn't treat it so much as like I felt it felt very much like I'm just going up here, big room full of people, do comedy.
hmm
And
Yeah,
if you don't advance or anything like that, that's exactly what you did. You did a show for a room full of people. Like that's still fun.
yeah. I think that. So are you saying you're not doing the Philly's funniest competition this year?
This year, I'm not. I had a few things like in mind, and then like I think they reached like their cap by the time that like I was going to do it. So I was like, oh, that's okay. I think what I'm going to do now is instead of the money that would have gone towards that, I made a vow of myself to instead submit to a festival. So it's like, all right, well, kind of allocate the money in a different way.
You don't do festivals.
I don't.
Why?
I don't have a great answer for that. I've done like the stuff that are like local festivals, like Shout to Music Fest and all that, but I haven't really like branched out to like a festival in a different state or like even ones that are like in here. I don't have like a great answer. I just never really gravitate towards them, but I made a vow with that though. Like, all right, if I'm not doing this year, submit it to a festival.
Yeah, that'd be good. Um, Festivals, I think you got to submit to ones that are make sense because you got most of them you got to pay for. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like you like to get there to sleep. You know what I mean?
right.
So I try to like I remember the like I've done like Baltimore, DC, the ones in PA. I haven't done, but like the I've submitted to like the big festivals, but like I haven't done like those ones in Oregon or like Boise, Idaho. Like I just don't.
Yeah, that would be kind of nice. Like yeah, to go somewhere like why I'm missing would be pretty nice.
I am missing. You mean in Reading, PA? Is that what you mean? Wyoming?
I'm thinking Wyoming. It's funny because as I was saying, I was like, oh no, that's the one in Berks County. I was like, no, that's a state. I'm thinking of Wyoming. It's I mean, shout out to why I'm missing as well. Berks Got Talent. I see you.
I gotta show why I'm missing in an hour and a half.
Really? Wait,
Yeah.
during the day? Oh, is it like a retirement home or? Damn, you're killing that circuit.
Thank you.
I know you can't say that literally at the retirement home. That's
I literally am. Yeah, slowly dying.
you gotta start marketing yourself as the Grim Reaper of comedy. And like that's like the bad boy of retirement home comedies. He's gonna make you laugh, perhaps too hard. Like that's I think that'd be a fun market.
Laugh till you die.
Laugh till you die fest. Only 65 and above.
Oh yeah. Bring your walkers and your oxygen.
Yeah, shots to everybody.
BYOO.
Bring your own nebulizer.
Uh,
Well, cool, man. We'll have fun with it. I'm sure it's gonna rock out. My day, man. It's a nice, very nice day out here in Downingtown. We got the best guys and all that stuff. I'm gonna hit up Westchester, hit up my favorite boutique shop. The Dijon, she's out camping with her daughter right now. So they're having a nice old time. We're looking out for the bears and all that. So you boys gonna be chilling, relaxing, perhaps try to achieve a prostate orgasm. We'll see. And then outside of that, Bruce Pat's coming through. We got UFC 302. I'm excited for this one, man. Woo! This is gonna be a good one. Dustin Poirier,
right.
the Diamond. It's we're rooting for you.
You going to Buffalo Wild Wings?
You know we're going to Buffalo Wild Wings. They when we pull up, they know it's a big event. They're like, oh man, all right, the team's here. Get the booth ready. Get the booth ready.
The one in Downingtown?
No, we're going to the one in Bruce Bowers maybe heads up on this as well. We're going to one in Glen Mills. It's like kind of like an in-between spot for all parties. Shout out to Ray, he's coming through as well. And yeah, man, it's gonna be a fun time. So yeah, that's pretty much what my day is gonna be.
That'd be fun. So you're allowed to have fun with the boys because she's not going to be there.
She usually comes through. She usually
Oh, okay,
comes through
okay,
and all that stuff.
okay,
Yeah, but like
okay.
yeah, she'll be trying to start fires and being in a tent and all that stuff. It was very cool. She went out there. Going camping. That's a wild move.
Is she camping or is she glamping?
She's camping. Well, she got the tent. Yeah, I was like, holy smokes! Like I did camping one time in eighth grade, and it was with a bunch of kids that brought like paintball guns. It was a very crazy night. But yeah, she's going straight out there, just camping, and yeah, salute to her.
Shooting bears with paintball guns. Huh? Is that what you're doing?
I don't know, man. You didn't know I won't even get in my paintball story, man. I should have wrote about it in here. They were like, "Hey, Kirk, we're gonna shoot you one time with there because I didn't have any gear or anything like that," and they all just shot me up. I was running. I was running, and I don't know if it was the sadness or the fastest in which I was running, but tears were coming to the side of my face as I ran.
Oh, I'm laughing at your trauma. My bad.
I forgot all about this.
Uh,
Well,
did your shirt look like my shirt? Just all different
yes,
colors?
yes, I remember it was a white shirt. I remember thinking, it's okay. I'm not participating in the whole paintball thing. I could wear this shirt. And yeah, it got me on that one.
Tie dye.
It
Uh,
was a nice experience though. Outside of that.
that's a good job. On that note, I like to end with the thought of you getting shot with multiple
Welcome.
paintballs.
Downingtown, the Downingtown Paintball Club. If you're around, please don't. Me just
It's
rip
like
sticking, weaving and weaving.
like
Just
Diddy.
take that, take that.
Oh well, I'm just having too much fun.
Oh my goodness. Well, thanks for listening and all that stuff, man. You already know we'll be out in these streets and all that stuff. You know the socials, you know the vibes, you know the smells. Thank you for listening. Like, subscribe, and do all the things that you like to do, including calling your grandmother, fortunate enough to still have her in your life. Yeah,
I ain't got none of those.
but yeah, me neither. But yeah, shout out to my grandmother and all that stuff. And thanks for listening.
Yeah,
Peace.
peace.